watching the Hollywood Podcast. You're watching the new one live. You're watching the Hollywood Podcast. You're watching the new one live. You're watching the Hollywood Podcast.
Oh shit. Sorry. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Early Watch.
You did?
Jimmy. Yeah, and with us as always, Mr. Tony York. I said Mr. Tony York like 5 fucking
Hey.
times. I'm like, oh, there you go. Go ahead, Mr. Tony York.
I forgot about the whole muted Jimmy thing.
Yeah, it happens.
Morning, people who are watching.
Yeah, I see eyes out there, but yeah, morning, everybody. So yeah, today's episode, does your vote matter? Do politicians care? Is a cheeseburger a sandwich? All that and more on the Early Watch.
No, and yes.
I disagree with you on the last one, but we'll save that for later. Maybe we'll get into that towards the end or whatever. But I wanted to
Fuck is a cheeseburger, not a sandwich.
do you on a menu they have them separated, sandwich or cheeseburger. It's the toppings, obviously. If you were to take the patty out of the middle and then put sliced deli meat, I guess you can consider that a sandwich on a bun, but a burger is a burger.
Well, I'm poor, so generally my cheeseburgers are on bread, not buns.
Well, yeah, still nonetheless, if you took I think that the patty is what makes it a cheeseburger versus a sandwich. Joe,
It's a
I
sandwich. It's just got its own name.
Sloppy Joe. Same thing then.
That
It's a
goes.
sandwich,
That
but it
goes
has its own name.
right. Yes, same thing as like a poor boy.
This is insanity. Like soon, people are gonna want to start calling it like that. Okay, now a taco's a sandwich. I mean, it's meat and bread and cheese. Is a taco just a
There
Mexican
certainly
sandwich?
has been people. People are going down that route when they talk about sandwiches. The whole hot dog's not a sandwich argument leads to tacos and burritos and that sort of stuff.
Yeah, I remember when they had that hot dog sandwich argument. I thought that was silly. Clearly, a hot dog is not a sandwich.
No, but you can cut the hot dog down the middle and lay it out flat on a piece of bread and make a damn sandwich out of it.
I guess, but then I mean, okay, yeah, that's we're getting into semantics now. Ozzy says cheeseburger, yes. Hot dog, no. I still think that it's the patty that makes it its own thing.
Honestly, I was on the hot dog is a sandwich side of the thing for a while, and then I finally thought about it while thinking about a corn dog. And there's no way I'm going to say a corn dog is a sandwich because you don't have a stick in a sandwich. So
Right, but
I
it's
don't
meat,
say a sandwich neither.
but it's meat in between bread. But that's what I'm saying. That argument
Right,
is
that's the
ridiculous.
point.
Because we get into, like I said, we can get into some real wacky shit. I mean, I
I
guess
suppose if you really think about it, nobody refers to a hamburger or a cheeseburger as a sandwich.
no. There's two separate parts of the menu for them. You have sandwiches, and then you have cheeseburgers or hamburgers with cheese or whatever. However.
It could be the fact that maybe sandwiches ain't cooked.
Yeah, well. Speaking of being cooked, rest in peace, Paul Harrell. That's a fucking that. When I found out that he was gone, I legitimately one of the YouTubers that I actually respected and took their word to mean something type of shit. Like hey, Paul Harrell was a fucking one of the great gun guys, Second Amendment guys, YouTubers, period, people that I think have walked this earth. And I fucking like,
Yeah,
you
I
know, all we'll make jokes out of it, I'm sure, apparently, but eventually, but you know, rest in peace to one of the great ones, I guess.
got to give him big fucking balls for his announcement too. He filmed the YouTube video back in December with the whole motif of, if you're watching this, I'm dead.
Yeah, well that okay, so yeah, that's what I wanted to get into too, and the thoughts on that video. See, so my initial reaction was like, damn, I would hope that I have the forethought to do some shit like that, to be, you know, like fucking film myself months in advance. Like in a way, Paul had enough like foreknowledge and like knew he was sick and knew eventually it was gonna lead to something bad and make the video. I don't know, but then hear me out here, right? Then a part of me kind of felt like this is going to come across wrong, and please know that I love and respect Paul Harrell, but a part of me came across as like, who the fuck do you like? If I were to sit down, what kind of an arrogance would I have to feel to be like, I'm going to make a death video? But then again, now he had millions of fans and all that shit, and people that were interested and actually legitimately cared and wanted to find out what happened. But I'm just saying, that were my two initial reactions. Was like, damn, I hope I have the forethought to do that. And then at the same time, like, what the fuck?
At first, at first I thought a little bit of bad taste,
That's yeah, okay.
but then
That's a better way to put it. Thank you.
you you have to consider how much shit he got from people saying bullshit about him. You know, what happens if somebody else come on and say he was dead? If he says it, then that you rest on it. That is where Elvis is at. Bigfoot.
Yeah. But then again, at the same time, that also is like, well, you could tell if you watch the progression of his videos, which I've loosely kept up with, but you could tell he's clearly filmed that when he was in a bit better health.
Yeah, he did an interview with somebody about 6 months ago, and I can't remember who the hell it was.
I know what you're talking
But
about too.
I was shocked at how bad he looked in that video.
Fucking hair all
He looked
wild,
way worse than
skinny.
he looked way worse than he did in any of the videos he's done since.
Yeah. Yeah, which I'm sure there's a backlog. I'm sure he's filmed a bunch of his videos in advance. That's why I'm like he probably had this planned in advance. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm sure he has a backlog of videos. Like that one
As I
kid. Who's that
understand,
kid that just lost a bunch of weight? You know, you got like years worth of fucking backed up videos that you could put out and shit and not even have to make any.
as I understood it, his death video was made right after he found out that the cancer was way worse than they thought it was.
Yeah. Yeah, well, he even mentioned something that in the video along the lines of like, well, we caught it, but not fast enough, and yeah, that's we all know the story by now.
Yeah, it was he was one of the great ones,
No, yes, in all seriousness, absolutely.
and he was fucking sharp too. Now,
Um,
back when G Webs had the online site going,
mm,
I tried to get Harold to come in there. I talked to him a few times about it. That was when I first found him. I didn't realize how prolific he already was at the time. He was fucking too busy to do much.
yeah, yeah, and he probably had everybody and their fucking mother trying to get him on their shows or on something, whatever. Yeah,
Yeah, like I said, I had just discovered him, and I didn't realize how much he had already done. But
yeah.
he'd been doing it for 6 years or so when I found him.
Oh yeah, by that time he was definitely not ground level anymore. definitely.
I
But yeah, I wanted to, I'm sure this is a boring bit out there for everybody and shit like that, but you know, had to
certainly
mention something
respected
about him.
certainly respected his ability to do a rebuttal.
And research. The motherfucker would fucking he knows his shit. He knows he's not like when he would do the breakdowns of things, like he did the fucking Hollywood shootout, and he did the this versus that caliber, um
Uh,
and going down to like
the,
the denim and gelatin tests and all this shit. Like all this shit was really well researched and quote scientific for the more
that
part.
Miami-Dade breakdown was one of the best fucking gun videos I ever seen.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And when I seen that, I was full on board Paul Harrell fan.
Oh yeah, and then still he'll
Not that I wasn't before.
and then still manage like when he did the Hollywood one, he still managed to like break it down and fucking make a history lesson out of it and why the fucking feds decided to change calibers and shit like all this other shit like yeah, the the way that he did shit was educational and entertaining. Some of his shit you could call boring or tedious or whatever, but I like for the more part his shit was spot on.
You know, didn't need videos like is a shotgun good for home defense? Fuck yeah, shotgun's good for about anything except for beyond 100-yard range.
Yeah.
But I still watched. Fuck, I think I watched everything from like 2015, 16, somewhere in there when I first discovered him.
Yeah, I've
I went
damn
back.
near seen most of his shit. I'm not. This might be controversial, and I know he just passed or whatever, but I'm not a huge fan of his brother, the guy
No,
that's been on
no,
his.
not
Yeah, yeah,
I he needs to try to emulate Paul more if he wants to take Paul's place. Uh, and fucking Paul Harrell is brilliant. Or
you got it.
I
You're
don't know
breaking.
how much
You're
the
breaking
brother
up a little
knows.
bit, Tone. I don't want to. I hate to interrupt you, but you're breaking up a little bit. Just so you know.
Yeah, well, I just leave it at I don't care for his brother either.
You sound perfect, by the way. But yeah, yeah, not my cup of tea. He like you were saying, step his charisma up a little bit. That's yeah, and he can't. It's gonna be hard for him to replicate, like you said, the genius of Paul. It's not gonna be.
Now, there was some Paul Harrell stuff that I didn't necessarily like.
Oh yeah, he hasn't been.
Some of
He hasn't been a hit every single time. A lot of his shit is boring. There's a well, no, majority of his shit is good, but there is a decent chunk of his shit that's boring, and you gotta kind of sit through or just skip or what. That's yeah. But
the whole how to tell if you're being shot at, or the one where they talk about the guys from a long ways off shooting at them while they were out somewhere behind a hill.
yeah,
I,
yeah. He told the
you know,
story that they were shooting, and then all of a sudden these fucking guys like up top started shooting down at him or whatever.
well, they were behind a hill, which I don't know that they would have been shooting around that hill and just not giving any thought to somebody being down behind it. I mean, when they were there. It's
Yeah.
the 22. It won't go fucking half a mile. Yeah.
Yeah. Then when somebody starts
I
returning
put
fire,
way
though,
more weight in people's fucking stupidity than their actual malevolence.
yeah, yeah, but you never know. Well, that his story was old, but I was gonna say you never know nowadays. Nowadays, People don't think twice about life.
Yeah, I could be way off base on it. Just the way
No,
it
yeah,
is in my head.
it could have been either way because people are that dumb. Like, oh, here's the spot right here. Let's start unloading, and yeah, that I I could definitely see that. But
On the think on the death video, I left a comment that said that the universe or whatever seems a little less bright now. I mean, it really kind of bugged me when I first heard it. You knew it's coming.
yeah.
I, hey,
Well, it's like I
got
think you said,
Tuesday.
yeah, I think you said one of the realest ones too. Like he's fucking like not one less gun guy on the internet that's not a fucking shill for his own pockets. You know what I mean? Like I'm not that obviously Paul was making fucking money on the internet, but I mean not like he wouldn't be the type of guy to say anything just so people could view his shit. Like he made videos because he wanted to make videos, and people wanted to just so happen to want to watch them. Type, you know what I mean? Like I don't know.
Yeah, just think about his Thanksgiving video. He's just throwing shit together on a campfire for dinner.
Yeah, he just did whatever the fuck he wanted to do. He wasn't out there like trying to kiss ass and suck dick for sponsorships and Patreons and all that. He was just yeah, I respect the shit out of him for doing yeah. And he still made it pretty I mean, he was fairly famous. I would challenge you to talk to somebody that's one of them 2A guys and fucking say Paul Harrell's name and him not know who you're talking about.
Yeah,
Every,
I seen I was kind of flipping through searches and I seen a video from TV station talking about his death, how influential he was in the gun community on YouTube.
yeah,
And
I,
it wasn't an anti-gun thing; it was just another tribute to him.
yeah, and he deserved it. He deserved it because he was one of the people out there too that's pushing safety over everything, which we're gonna get into in a minute here too. But I don't want to just cut off the conversation like that. But he was one of those guys that were into fucking like teaching people about firearm safety, which is what everybody needs to know. I don't give a shit how you word it or whatever. That should be something that if you're interested in firearms, you should be interested in the safety of firearms first and foremost.
Yeah. Uh, as or as leading topics, we did stuff like how do we prevent these mass shootings, which really didn't care for the video that much. I mean, there was nothing in it that hadn't crossed my mind beforehand. Still, the idea.
Yeah, and it was just mostly him talking at you, like it was, I kind of like I get it. But yeah, that's the thing. And I, by the way, too, I hate to be that guy that said I told you so, but it was just last week where I was like, "Don't worry, guys. The school shootings and the shootings will start up again. Don't worry about it." I'm eating my words now.
Yeah, I don't know how many there's been in the past, but I know for sure there was two.
Yeah, which let's get into that fucking right now anyway. But yeah, but any last thoughts on Paul? Rest in peace, Paul. You're fucking, that's it ain't like anybody's
You
gonna
will be
watch it
missed.
anyway. But yeah, definitely will be missed.
I put the word out that we was going to do this today.
Yeah, I seen we got a couple more subscribers. That might have been it. I don't know. But
Uh,
it don't matter. The show must go on.
this kid in Georgia, man, what's going down with his dad disturbed the fuck out of me.
Well, that's crazy about that. And I was reading this article too about fucking gun violence is an epidemic in America. Gun safety can be the cure. In the middle of gun control, not gun control, but I liked how it went into like, well, when people get out of surgery or get into fucking whatever accidents or get injured or whatever, they get prescribed opioids and end up getting addicted to it, and the overdose statistics of fucking, whatever. And then they talk about 40,000 people killed in automobile accidents in 2023. And it's not just gun violence like that. 107,000 people died of drug overdoses in 2023. Yet opioids themselves are not the problem. And it's the same thing with guns. Guns are not the problem. It's that there's idiots that wield them from time to time, and people that aren't as safe as they could possibly be, or people that let their shit. But like you were saying with the dad, that, so giving a gift to somebody. And now the Michigan ones I could sort of understand, because wasn't that a pistol? I know that was a long
I,
time ago.
you know, the thing of it is with the Michigan one, I didn't think that was right either.
No, me neither.
I
You
mean,
remember I was
unless
talking.
you can prove that they were encouraged the kid to go and do some heinous thing, you know, now giving your kid a gun before they're 21 is a fucking crime, apparently.
That
Which I have broken that law a lot.
second degree murder. And it was, what did he get? 3, 4 counts of second degree murder?
Or no, I might be right, three, because it was an odd number compared to everything else.
Yeah, that was around 3 or 4,
The
but
thing of it, now it's turned out that the mom called the school counselor and warned him that day.
yeah, I was hearing something about that, but I didn't ever get details. So she actually was aware that something was going down, or she just thought. It's like she
I
like
didn't hear the
fucking
damn
what's this?
details, but she called the school counselor and said, something's going on. I missed the damn details, so I don't know. I
Right,
just seen
yeah.
that this morning.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Uh,
I heard something about it, but I didn't pay attention. I haven't been. I've been on and off with this whole thing because literally, and it's not that I'm becoming desensitized to it, which I'm sure plays a small factor, but it's not that I'm getting desensitized to it. It's just that all of these fucking cases, same thing. The only thing that's been changing recently and is different now is that parents are getting involved in it, which negligence as a crime, possibly, but definitely not getting a second degree fucking murder charge. I, that's insanity.
right. When I gave the revolvers to the grandkids, I presented them as to the parents just because of that shit in Michigan.
Yeah, and now if you're 80 years old and God forbid one of them gets pissed off or something and takes that shit to school, then are you going to be facing life in prison, multiple fucking counts of possible lives in prison?
No shit. That's kind of what I was alluding to, although I didn't want to come out and say it. But
Well, I'm just saying. I mean, I'm
you know,
using you as an example, but I'm just saying that could be anybody now. That's just it's getting to a point of ridiculousness of like, yeah, I bought fucking Sammy a gun. So what? I didn't know he was gonna go nuts and fucking kill everybody. What the fuck?
no shit. I mean, I taught this kid how to handle a gun safely. Oh, I thought they were going to be fine with it.
Yeah, but now, I mean, with your logic, that would make sense. If the motherfucker gets a fucking, hey kid, here's a Tech Nine and a VHS tape of Columbine, and fucking go at it. Those bullies, you could take care of them now, or so. That's you know what I mean. Like, if you're putting that kind of shit in their head, Yeah, okay. I guess second degree murder makes sense.
Well, the
But
one thing that I can't abide with the father is the fact that the kid had been investigated already for the crime he committed. Not the exact one, but I mean for the same kind of crime. And his father went ahead and bought him a fucking AR after that. And
yeah, see,
that's
and it's exactly those kind of details that make it hard as fuck for me to argue at all for it. But it's I feel like, and I said the same thing too with the whole Michigan thing. And it's not that I don't give a fuck about the victims or the families of the victims or anything like that. It's that this is going to set a precedence. Yeah, those parents were they negligent and stupid? Absolutely. Was this guy dumb? Absolutely. Negligent? More than likely. But it, like I said, the next case could just be like I used Tony as example. It could be as simple as that. You bought your grandkids something, they got pissed off 20 years later, 10 years later, and shot up their fucking high school, and now you're 85 years old looking at three fucking five counts of fucking second degree murder.
I'd be six because I would shoot the grandkid. That would be
Yeah,
first.
that'd be. I was gonna say that's a little premeditated, but I mean, it's that's what I'm saying though. That's that my fear is that this would set a precedence and take the parents' stupidity, then all of a sudden, it's not even the parents' fault anymore. It's
Hey,
just,
Patriot.
what's up, Pat? Oh, what's up, Patriot? But yeah, it's fucking.
Um,
That's my fear of the whole thing is that it's gonna go from, yeah, the parents were stupid to and negligent to,
well,
yeah, the parents were kind of stupid to, yeah, the parents really didn't do anything at all.
were were they stupid or negligent if the gun he used wasn't the one the father bought him? Because they've never made that point.
Wait, stop. Run that by me again. I'm sorry. You broke up a little bit, and I want to answer this.
Well, if the kid didn't use the gun that his dad bought him,
Right.
how in the fuck are the parents in any way responsible for him?
Well, yeah, but I'm
And
telling
they,
that's the whole hinge of their fucking case right there is that the kid had already been investigated for this, and then the dad still went out and got him a rifle. The
I mean, yeah,
that's
that was fucking stupid. Okay, that I got no qualms with. But they have not said that the gun he used was the one he got as a gift.
I mean, it
And
is left
I've
for
heard him
assumption.
this, every time I've heard them talk about it, they have always said the father bought him a, not the AR-15, gift, which is a little curious. If the AR-15 he used was not the one that he was bought by his father, where's fucking dad's liability in that shit?
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure it has to. They wouldn't have charged him if it wasn't. I don't think. I mean, I don't know. And also, congrats, Oz. He says he's got a great granddaughter on the way. Oh, he says he's
Hey,
gonna be a
Patriot,
great grandfather. Didn't say what the gender was. I guess you don't want to assume, right?
damn near fucking old. I ain't got no granddaughters that old yet. Oh,
you never met your great grandmother?
me? No.
Uh, I did. She died when I was like 2, but I still met her though.
Yeah, same with my the only one that was alive when I was young was my mom's grandma, and she was around when I was born, but not long after, so I never knew her in any form. The old folks didn't want fucking anything to do with me when I was an infant because I was so small.
Yeah, no shit.
my actual maternal grandpa told my mom, I buried one just fucking like that. I ain't gonna get attached to another.
Pedro's saying if the police come talk to my kid and there's an issue, my stuff would definitely be away from them, or I would send the kid away. I don't know. I mean, I guess it would depend on the severity of what the fuck is going on with the kid. Like if you're being crazy and violent and fucking retarded or whatever, like yeah, maybe send away. I don't know if I would go that far, but I definitely wouldn't be like, hey, here, kid. Like I mean, I'd be buying deadbolts for my door, not my bedroom door, not fucking rifles and shit. So that's what I'm saying. I don't think he was that crazy because the dad doesn't seem like he was. I don't know. Maybe he is that stupid. Oh, the kid's violent. Let's get him a gun. I
You know,
don't.
how much fucking trust do you have in your kid? I mean,
That's what. Well, that's what I'm
me,
saying. I don't. The dad was obviously. What I'm saying is right. Is the dad obviously wasn't afraid of the kid. It wasn't that deep where the fucking dad was like, "I'm not buying this kid a gun." You know what I mean? He bought the kid a gun. There was no fear there. You know.
yeah, that's what I say. You know, I think that the idea that dad got him a gun is stupid, but then I don't know the details.
That's what I'm saying.
You know,
If
beyond
this
what
kid
they're
was,
telling you on.
if you thought Tony, if you thought your kid was gonna shoot up a school, well, I mean I understand that well, it's not even that far of a hop. It's you know what I mean. Wouldn't you be afraid that they could shoot you too? Like I mean that's in the same vein. I feel like
Well, it happens. You know, on some of these it happened.
if I think my kid is a
Or
killer, I don't think it's gonna stop at me. Like, oh, they're gonna go out and kill everybody, but not me for sure. I'm gonna buy him a rifle just in case. I
you
I
know,
would think they're gonna kill me too. I ain't buying that kid no gun, no knife, no nothing.
there's a certain amount of parents that believe their kid over anybody else. And while I'm willing to take my kids as word for something because I can fucking look at them and tell if they're lying.
Right.
I
But but
mean,
if you think your kid a killer, do you think it's gonna stop at you?
fuck no.
Yeah,
I
that's what,
couldn't buy them a gun if I
that's
thought they was
yeah.
dangerous.
Hell no. Hell
I
no.
there was a bit of a ball drop in that part of it. You know, granted, the FBI did what they were legally supposed to, but you know, maybe the kid should have seen it shrink to check. I don't
Yeah.
know. That shit. I'm so opposed to any regulations against firearms and things standing in the way of people getting them. It, it's a real tough thing for me to say, that the dad was stupid for buying a kid a gun.
Yeah. Well, that's why I'm trying to kind of like. Well, I'm not necessarily walking on eggshells, but that's why I'm kind of walking the line too. Because my problem is I've seen it happen within my lifetime. My problem is I don't want it to start to set a precedence for future events.
Bingo. That's what has got to me more than anything is the fact that parents are going to be responsible for crime just for purchasing a gift for their kids if their kids used for something bad.
Oh Jesus! Could you imagine?
You know,
Can you imagine getting charged for your kids' crime? Well, not you personally, but that's insane. Getting charged for your kids' crimes.
well, think about it. Your kid gets busted or in a wreck with DUI. Do they bust you because you bought the car?
What if your kid's a fucking dope addict? You know what I mean? It's your fault. Are you gonna get charged with
There could
negligence
be
and
some.
murder if they overdose in an alleyway somewhere?
there could be some liability if you bought them the booze they got drunk with or drugs they OD'd on.
Well, yeah, but that would be with anybody though. That could be from where they bought it from,
Right.
who supplied it to them, anything. But my thing is you're sitting in your fucking lazy boy chair watching the 11 o'clock news, and Timmy overdoses in a fucking Delta 88 in the you know what I mean, in the middle of nowhere in some alley somewhere, and you get a phone call, and all of a sudden you're getting handcuffed for fucking negligence and second
You know,
degree murder.
that's a precedent that's fucking scary and, you know,
Well,
wide
even
ranging
going with the,
possibilities.
well, like I said, even being say you're a 30-year-old parent and you buy your fucking 5-year-old not even, it's a literal birthday gift. The day you're born, I buy you a rifle and say this is your rifle and have it set up in your room, locked up somewhere, whatever the fuck. And then 12 years later you go and shoot up your junior high school, and then I get blamed for it. That's
That's
that's what we're headed towards. That's what I'm afraid of.
me too.
Yeah,
You
weekly
know,
Patriots asking if we're back weekly for now.
I'm saying tentatively, but Jimmy seems to be a little bit more reliable right now.
Yeah, for now. For now, weekly for now. But yeah, I right now it's going to be gun related, and that's what I'm afraid of. Well, by right now, probably the next 5 or 10 years, but that's what I'm afraid of.
Um, my point on the other stuff is to hopefully, from the people who aren't into guns, conception of what this fucking shit can do.
Well, yeah, but that's the thing though. If you just plainly run this down to the average non-gun person, they're gonna be like, "Oh yeah, it makes sense. This guy's stupid. Shouldn't have bought him a gun." That anybody would. I think that. You think that. Anybody would have think that. And that's not helping. I don't know if it's hurting necessarily, but like I said, being able to just blame any parent for any crime is what's gonna come down the line.
Right. And the thing is like I said, in anything I've heard so far, they haven't said that the gun he used was yeah. The way they've always worded it is as if they're two separate guns.
And that may be the case, but I'm assuming that the district attorney or the state's attorney wouldn't press charges if it wasn't that gun. I may be way off on that one, but I'm just making an assumption based off of prior shits events.
Well, you know, if it is the gun that his father bought him, then
Well, he's
with
fucked, but
all
he's
that
fucked
went
off of
on,
stupidity. There's nothing that anybody, the NRA, or there's nothing nobody could do for that motherfucker. He's If he bought him that gun after he was investigated and it becomes clear that the guy's just a dipshit, he's cooked. That's it.
yeah, and investigated for threatening to do what the crime actually turned out to be.
Yeah, that's why they need to step in now before he get or before he gets charged. They need to step in and fucking get him out of there. He shouldn't be getting charged for this. That should be where we're at. That should be where all the fucking CCAs and fucking AAAs and NRAs and whatever bullshit fake ass acronym you want to fucking throw around. That's what they should be concentrating
You know,
on right now.
my second grandson got in trouble at school because a teacher overheard him and a couple other guys talking. We're talking about what you would do if you got attacked by a dog. Because Caden has a bunch of dogs in his place. And the teacher happened up behind him just as said I would shoot him with a shotgun.
Hmm.
He got kicked out of school for that. And
No way. Like expelled?
yeah,
That's
for a
fuck.
day.
Oh, okay, 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 okay. Still,
But
that's insane.
I mean, that's like chewing a fucking piece of pizza into a gun shape, stupid.
Yeah. Yeah, even the finger gun thing. Pointing a finger gun at somebody and going pew, I don't fucking
Yeah.
know. The world is getting dumber and dumber, and that's just where we're at. I feel like.
Yeah. We're letting that shit happen. I mean, not us specifically, but society as a whole.
Well, yeah, but pretty soon people that are like-minded in our situation, more conservative, more hey guys, let's follow the Constitution and that kind of shit. Let's stop with all this. But that's gonna be the vocal minority pretty soon.
You know, if the dad handed the kid the gun and sent the kid out the door to a school,
Hey,
uh,
go out and kill those
yeah,
bullies,
I would
son.
say there was fucking bit of ability in that. But just buying the thing as a gift, man, that's too shaky of a slope for my taste.
Well, no, that's why they had the. You have to add in the. Well, he was investigated by police first, and then that's everybody's aha moment. Oh, well, that yeah, and that's how they're
Even
gonna try and
so,
get him. That's how they're gonna try to get him, though. I don't agree with it.
well, I know it. Even so, I've seen enough parents that believe their kids. I'm one because my
Yeah,
kids were never really good about lying to me in my face.
yeah, but my thing is though. I mean, unless you're completely oblivious, and I'm not saying that it's not possible. It's more than possible. But unless you're completely oblivious, if your kid is accused of something like that and talked to by the police and investigated, you as a parent would feel, sir, would know something. Like, oh yeah, I see this motherfucker's not acting right.
Now, when I was a kid, I was 11 years old when I got my first gun. Um, because of what it was too big for me.
Right.
And then that was a Mossberg a bolt action 410 with poly choke, and it was an adult gun.
Yeah.
Then I got a Remington 572, which is another adult gun. It was too big for me. And then finally a Ruger 1022. So when I was 12, I was taking that gun out by myself going hunting
Yeah. See, I wasn't that young
because
by
I had hunting
myself, but I
license.
was that young with my grandpa. Yeah. Well, I was 9 with my grandpa, but yeah, that's
You know, as they're approaching it on TV today, that's a fucking crime.
well, that's the thing though, is that back in the day, well, I can't speak for everybody, but there was guns laying around. Weren't fucking
Hell, when I went to school in fifth grade. This would have been when I was first moved to Missouri.
right.
I went to a two-room school that had kindergarten through eighth grade in it. It was K through four in one room and five through eight in the next. In that five through eight room, during deer season, there would be guns standing up against the corner where the kids brought them in after they was out hunting that morning to go hunt when they got out of school.
Oh
And it
yeah.
was nothing.
Yeah, like it wasn't shit.
Nobody even fucking thought about it. And down there, it wasn't just fucking shotguns to use. There's fucking rifles. So
Oh no, I know. They
I don't
yeah,
know.
some shit to go hunting with for sure. But see, that's what I'm saying though. Well, my situation was the '90s in the house. Like I could have just grabbed that shit and went. So, but either way, my point is, and it's gonna sound like a broken record, but what we need to focus on is our kids, the mental health aspect, the fuck, you know what I mean? Like it sounds cliche and retarded, but our kids are a lot dumber. Is it the parents' fault? Sure, absolutely. But that's why we need to kind of put a fucking stop at that right there. What's it called? Nip it in the bud. It's not a gun
Yeah.
problem. It goes back to saying before what we were saying before. It's a safety
No,
issue.
beat that little motherfucker's ass from the time he's about 2 on. Teach him that punishment sucks.
Well, yeah. I mean, there's that absolutely, and I 100% agree with that. But I mean, me when I was a kid, I knew what a gun can do. I've seen squirrels and raccoons and possums on the business end of a fucking 22 at that point in time, and I knew that if I point that gun at somebody, the BB gun isn't gonna really hurt. It's gonna sting, but it's not gonna fucking blow a chunk of somebody out. Which I mean, it wouldn't do. The 22 wouldn't do that to a human, but you get where I'm coming from, though. That's what I was a little kid, and that's what I've seen it do to things. So,
Right. That's one of the things why I'm so adamant about teaching kids young because,
oh, let me tell
knowing
you something. There's,
firearms.
hey, as an 8-year-old, there's nothing more traumatizing you can see than fucking squirrel's brain blowing against the fucking. Well, no, actually, I take that back. Possum, possum was the worst because that was almost like a little like oversized rat, undersized dog. It's hard to explain, but when you see that motherfucker get, yeah, there's nothing more traumatizing to a little kid than seeing an animal getting his fucking brain splattered against a tree.
I don't know, man. The worst thing I seen was a deer that had guts hanging out from getting shot in the stomach with a slug or in the abdomen. That was pretty fucking gross.
Yeah. You know what? That too. Let's add that one too. So yeah, anybody out there with little young kids, show them some shit and fucking, they'll be all right.
Man, I've always been a proponent of taking that allure, mystery away from what firearms are.
Well, yeah. I mean, and that's the thing too, is that your kids. I'm not actually advocating that, but I'm saying though, your kids know what a hammer does to nails. It knows that what a hammer is going to do to a wall. If your kid knows what it's going to do to a fucking squirrel or a raccoon or a possum, it's going to think that it'll do triple times that to somebody's leg or like it will know not to pick that gun up. At least it worked with me, but
I
you know.
actually didn't pick up on it that way. I picked up on it from a friend of mine who was sitting in a recliner while his dad was cleaning 22 at his desk and he fucking had a negligent discharge and shot the kid in the calf.
Holy shit.
And that fucking bullet went up his leg into his abdomen.
Holy shit.
And I'm thinking, Jesus Christ. Um, and I have never had any doubts about the abilities of a 22 since then.
We're not gonna get into it. It'll kill you. Let's just let's leave it. A 22 will
Scotty,
kill a person. What's up, Scotty? But yeah, a 22
yeah,
will kill
that's
a guy.
about enough of that fucking dead horse.
Yeah, let's agree. It'll kill a guy for sure.
This was one where the waiting till or Monday was kind of an issue because the main topics we had were like a week old.
I mean, these are pretty old too. The Georgia guy happened a while ago. I'm just fucking like I said, and it says shit like that. It just caught my eye. Opinion blaming a parent again for failed gun laws. If you're cheering on the charges brought against Colin Gray, the father, blah 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 blah. And, I mean, nobody's fucking cheering for anybody. No one's cheering against him. No one's cheering for him. It's just I don't care about the guy. Not to sound cold, but I care about the laws, the future laws, the future fucking cases. What's up, Gunny?
Right.
Um,
Future ramifications of this deal are scary.
yeah, yeah. I could be a fucking,
Again,
I could be an old man. Well, not that old. How old is the kid? 10? Not my
Yeah, but
the other kid,
in
the
the future,
grandkid.
do they move it on? You bought your son a gun, and your son passed that gun to his son. They come and get you because you bought it in the first place.
Yeah, yeah. You know that motherfucker had a crazy gene in him. Like what? You're going to jail. And the dad's in jail. It looks like he's in jail unless he just has a striped fucking shirt on. But
He was in jail when he went to court. Yeah, I don't know if he's got out or not. I don't think they set bail for either one of them.
oh, that motherfucker. They put him in fucking. What are you? Ugh. See, that's insanity. That's insanity. You could be an old man one day and fucking just go to jail. That's yeah. It's scary. And I said when the whole Michigan thing, I mean, I don't even know. The Michigan thing was a while ago, but I said during that it's just going to keep happening, and here we are talking about it again. I don't know if it's happened before, or I don't know if it's not before, or if it's happened since.
Well, step away from that particular gun issue and go to this dude in Kentucky that was talking about this morning that shot like a dozen fucking cars along the interstate while they was driving by. What the fuck is somebody thinking to do that shit?
Oh shit, drive by. That's I
Except
don't
the
know.
gunman was sitting, I
Oh.
guess. But they're looking for this fucker right now.
Where'd this happen at in Kentucky?
Yeah, in Kentucky. It was right outside of London, Kentucky.
So like on an expressway or?
Yeah, it was on, I believe, Interstate 75.
Jeez, got another highway shooter, eh? Yeah,
And
people are
it's
just
just
nuts
like
nowadays. That's it's we don't have a gun problem. We literally have a people problem.
going back to the whole military training being, mind controlled like MK Ultra type of thing, which I don't particularly agree with. But
It's
this
out
guy
there.
was a
What you mean you
guard
don't?
member.
Wait a second. What do you mean you don't agree with it? That it happened or agree with the
No,
methods?
that military's purpose is various. Military has to teach people to obey orders regardless.
Yeah, but
So that's why they have to break it.
I definitely think that they've done experiments on people. I don't think that it's their point, but
Well, there's no doubt about that.
yeah, they've released documents about the fucking CIA doing nefarious shit to
I
the
mean,
military, to the citizenry, to everybody. So yeah, I can agree with you on that. That's not the military's
they stuck
point.
they stuck like half a dozen guys out under a fucking nuclear bomb detonated in the sky just to see what happened. That was, back in the 50s. I'm like, Jesus Christ. Y'all knew this shit was bad, but that's our army.
Yeah, Gunny
Or I
says
should
that.
say our government.
Well, yeah, that's the thing too is that they fucking I don't know. People are like, oh, they'll never be martial law. Though our patriots won't do that. They won't. They're gonna follow orders. They're gonna do what the fuck they're told to do, and that's
You
gonna be
think they
that.
won't do that? Look at how many fucking voluntarily went to fucking New Orleans after Katrina. Paul Harrell being one of them.
Yeah, but that don't matter. The numbers, they're gonna be outnumbered and they're gonna be outgunned.
I don't think that Paul Harrell would have stripped anybody of constitutional rights, but
No, Paul Harrell
yes,
would have
there
been
were
one of
some
the
who did.
he would have been one of the ones getting his rights stripped. Get out of
I
here.
still find the whole deal with that irksome that we didn't even find out that shit happened for 3 goddamn years.
Yeah, it was covered up initially. It's the same reason why we don't get
Still,
any open documents until the people that the documents are about are dead.
I mean, we still don't know much of anything about the Vegas shooter.
No, and we won't. Our kids might. Our kids' might, but we won't. We definitely won't. And that might even get forgotten to time because I think I don't even know if my generation, because technically I'm a millennial, so I don't even think my generation, but fucking um, I don't think that we're gonna there. There's not gonna be any follow up. Like the next generations that are coming up, like they don't give a fuck about history or the past or any shit like that. Like I don't know. It just seems like it's few and far between of people that are gonna actually look into things.
You know, with the Vegas thing, do you think that there was a conspiracy there?
Oh,
I'd say it
absolutely.
was possible.
Absolutely. I'm still. I think it was a gun deal gone bad. That's
It
what I
could have
think.
been that. It could have been a fucking CIA thing.
I think it was a CIA gun deal gone bad.
Very well could be. You know, and the fact that they don't tell us fucking shit about it after the fact don't help alleviate those suspicions either.
No, of course not. But they don't give a fuck though because there's only few people out there that are actually even worried about it, and everybody else is gonna keep going about their day like it didn't have. Like you know what I mean? They're not gonna care.
I don't want to see any of this shit happen.
Yeah, but there's other people out there that are just gonna keep the zombies. They just keep going, keep doing. I mean, me like what I see the shit that's going on. I'm not gonna. I keep going about my day like as regular per usual.
Well, we're right now into a position where we're trying to enlighten somewhat, you know, all 4 or 5 people that are here,
Mm,
and the other 4 or 5 that might watch it later, uh, in an honest fashion. It's the best that capable to get real truth when it comes to details.
yeah,
Uh, like back to the Vegas guy, I listened to all them fucking recordings. Was talking about
all the 911 calls and all that shit.
no, yeah, where they was showing off the sounds of gunfire, and you know some of that. Into my head, the cadence did not tell me that this dude was using a bump stock. And then there was a couple that, yeah, because the cadence was going up and down pretty much. But who knows how much they can fucking manipulate that sort of thing to make it sound the way they want it to sound.
Of course.
You know, fuck, I don't trust anything the government says. I don't give a shit which side it is. They're all a
Nah,
bunch of fucking liars.
nah. And I used to be big on the news too, and I haven't. That's been gone in my life for years and years and years now. I can't believe anything anymore. And it's just
Yeah, I
and
don't know
like I
when I
said, the
lost
whole
faith.
I don't expect complete transparency, right? I get the whole national security thing. I get the whole foreign fucking opposition thing. I get all that. But I mean when it comes to majority shit, we should know about it. And there shouldn't be as much shady shit going on as there is. I don't I, what is the use of the CIA other than for the fucking government to get experiments and the government isn't even control the CIA. I mean, and at least some of the things that I've read, the CIA is its own fucking thing. Do they report to the president? Sure. Whatever. You know what I mean? Yeah, sometimes
As
if we wanna.
far as I always understood, the CIA was not supposed to be operating on American soil. They're
They're foreign.
mostly are meant to be a foreign
Yeah.
thing, topple the government and shit like that. You ever listen to a guy named Andrew Basami or whatever the fuck his
Um,
name is? He's a long, big, poopy haired fucker that used to be a CIA operative.
I have seen little like those little short clips that they do from time to time. I've seen some of those, yes, in my feed. Um, I feel like he's another I do believe he's CIA, but I believe he's put out there for motherfucker like he's more misinformation. I don't fucking I can't believe nothing that no one says. I don't believe none of the fucking SEALs that come out and talk their shit. I don't believe none of that shit. But yeah, go on. Yes, I've seen him. I know
I've,
him.
he's pretty entertaining to listen to. Some of what he says seems like it could be legit.
Oh, absolutely. The whole like, and then you bring your fucking this ID laminated this fucking $100 in small bills of whatever currency wherever you like. Yeah, I get it. I get it. Yeah. I just don't believe him.
That oh, Howie just touched on something that one hit again, which is I've done it before on basically the idea of prepping. And the question is, and I want the audience to answer this, curious, and you can too, but do you think that it's possible for collapse in our society? If so, what do you think it on?
Oh, so what you broke up a whole lot right there.
That fucking figures.
What do we think about the collapse of our society, or do we think that the collapse of our society is possible?
Possible or imminent, whatever. And what do you think would bring it on?
Yes. Well, I would love to hear what other people think, but that's a lot of writing. But for me, yes, I think it's possible. I believe that every empire crumbles at some point or another. If this isn't fucking Sodom and Gomorrah, if we ain't there yet, I don't know what the fuck, how much worse the U.S. is gonna get. Oz said too. I wanted to get to some of the comments, but Oz, his last comment said, "If you think it's bad now, wait till after this election." Jeez. And regardless of who wins, which I also agree with. Um,
My old
but
lady for 12 years has said that, you know, it's going to crash at some point.
yeah, like I said, every empire
Uh,
falls.
and COVID was fucking close. I mean, how we skirted a crash with that is a little difficult to figure out because there's so much fucking work that stopped.
Well, yeah, and then it's like, don't even bother, because you see how people are getting fucking lazier and fatter and all. Like, oh, don't even come into work, just work from home, and don't, you know what I mean? Like everything is made such a crazy 180 twist. It it's impossible for me to
And
believe that it wasn't somewhat intentional.
I, there's that, and how the fuck much money do we print before there's no value left? And that's how they avoided a serious crash with COVID is by printing fucking money.
Yeah. But that's the thing too, is that you don't fucking that like what how come everybody didn't realize that at that point, hey, we could just do this. Like if there was, you
Hey,
know what I
Brigham,
mean?
what is WEF? I, I'm still with the old lady on that. I believe the end is coming, not the end of humanity, but the end of a stable United States economy at the very least. There's so many possibilities for it, but the easiest one is just a fucking financial crash.
Well, yeah, you didn't let me finish, but it's okay. But I can.
Sorry.
No, no, I'm just fucking with you. But I can see that. But I, I mean, people are gonna crash it. People are gonna destroy this fucking empire. We're already tearing it down. I mean, fucking, just look at the people, man. And like I said last week, and
It's
I'll say it
real.
they all can vote. All these motherfuckers that you see out here, all these idiots, all of these fucking. I'm not even gonna get personalized with any of the fucking groups. You see all these idiots, and all of you know who the fuck I'm talking about and where I'm talking. But it's multiple fucking small pockets of idiots, and all of them vote.
Yeah, it's all those Asians wanting to be colored folk.
Don't make sense. Motherfuckers are
That
more.
was one of the funniest from
They're
last show.
some of the more, but yeah, don't get me going. They can have it if they want. Whatever. What you calling lazy and fat?
The
Me?
thing of it is
Me?
answer in chat what they think would bring about collapse. I'm just curious what people think. You know, World War III. Well, that's a fucking distinct possibility as we speak. Uh, Stealing another election, I could go
Well,
with that too, Scotty, because
yeah, that'd be
I don't even think stealing is the issue. It's just losing it. If the left loses, I think there's going to be some problems.
I. But if oh no, if they win, it's gonna be problems too. And I'm not even talking about the fucking idiots on the conservative side. I'm talking about it's gonna be a fucking a power trip like no other. There, you know what I mean? It's gonna be that kind of shit. It's gonna be horrible. If you don't wear a dress
Well,
on Sundays, you're a fucking transphobist, and you
the that it's been going on. There's a fair amount of shit that Biden did by executive orders that was really bad, and it was not news. I can't remember now because I'm a fucking old man, but I heard several executive orders he made. The fuck did we not rise up? Well, we didn't hear about it.
well, or laziness, or compliance, or a little bit of both, or it's kind of like, well, hey, I got everything. I'm comfortable right now. What the fuck am I? What the fuck do I look like rising up right now? I don't want to rise up to go to my fridge and get something else to drink. What the fuck am I gonna rise up against the government for?
I believe that if it's a left victory again, you're gonna see that very thing happen. If I mean, rise up or not.
Scotty says
I
Republic's
don't think there'll
last.
be that many people that refuse to turn in their guns when they finally ban them. You know, a ban of guns is going to happen.
That's gonna be major step one. That's gonna be like we're in this shit deep. Step one. And they're gonna you see how they phase shit in. We're gonna barely notice it, and then when it happens, I do agree with what you say. I believe that most people are gonna be like, well, it's the law now, so here you go. But I'm sure there's gonna be some of those people that hide it, and then there's gonna be people uh, like whatever, and they're gonna be like, no, fuck that shit, and gonna actually fight it. But I believe that most people are just gonna hide something, hide their shit. So I don't know, find a way to hide some shit somewhere.
Yeah, I have never been honest about how many guns I actually possess, not in public. I own a few. Same with ammo. I've never said how much I have.
Gunny says the same thing, kind of. I was saying. He said all the hair dye of many color body holes, every weak wrist bones, agenda brainwashed individual will be voting just to let that sink in.
Yeah.
But you have to think also, or no, not even a but. I apologize. With that, you have to also realize that a lot of these motherfuckers are not voting with policy in mind. It's also a party loyalty. You vote for the Democrats because they're Democrats. You know what I mean? I'm voting for the strong
Yeah, but
black
the
woman
thing of
because
it
I'm a
is
strong black woman, and that's the type of shit that they're fooling us all with. Race is just something else to divide us with. Fucking this transgenderism shit. It's you already know. They're doing what they're supposed to do. So, like whoever the fuck said earlier, I think it was Scotty. I might be wrong, but whoever said it don't matter who wins. It was Ozzy. Who, regardless of who wins, I don't think it matters. I think that there's gonna be fucking blood in the street either way. I don't know. I don't think it matters. Trump steals
so
it, and
far we've yet to
fucking
see the blood.
Kamala didn't steal the election though, huh? She wasn't even elected. She just appeared next to Biden, ain't it? Something like that.
Right. Yeah. She didn't get one fucking
She just
election or electoral vote.
so she wouldn't be stealing
And
the
now
election
she's
again.
fucking candidate for president. Still, no electoral votes. Well, I think she got support from the electoral college at the convention, but not a single motherfucker voted for her.
And we wake up tomorrow and it's January 1st and she's the president. What the fuck? What happened? What happened, guys? That would be
Yeah.
fucked up. I would remember that because I keep somewhat of a journal, so I would remember that. I would hope. Hey, there's a
Wait a
couple
minute, where the
months.
fuck did Thanksgiving go, for
Yeah,
Christ's sake?
there's a couple months missing here. What the fuck? But remember, we don't say
Uh,
Merry Christmas no mo. How dare you say Merry Christmas? Shut up, bitch.
yeah, I suppose it gets to a point where the government's fucking mass slaughtering people that they say are lawbreakers and whatnot.
Yeah, that.
Uh, Pro gun guys might start saying, "Hey, fuck this." But
Well, that's just like that.
you
I
hear a
was
lot of people
making a.
talk.
Go ahead. Sorry.
You hear a lot of people talk about it, but I don't know that I believe any would stand up.
Yeah.
Bearded tattooed guy. Yeah, I heard Paul Harrell talk about him.
What?
Bearded tattooed guy.
Or was that his brother? Oh, the
Ah,
comments. I'm not
it's
looking at
fine.
the comment. Oh shit. Yeah, my bad. I wasn't looking at the comments. Yeah, that part.
He was kind of pointing a figure at, the Jamie Yeager types out there. And, honestly, I like Yeager. I had talked to him 4 times. Yeager's all right. Hard to watch because just absurd. But hey, talk to him. He's okay.
You're breaking up there again, Tone.
I wasn't saying anything important.
Um. Totally at Jim. DJ says totally Jimmy identity politics and thinking sucks dirty buttons, but not the streets. Oh no, I'm bearded. I'm not bearded. That's stop saying bearded in the goddamn. But anyway, um, fucking yeah. I was just joking about the streets being awashed with blood, but that's how they talk. So I'm just
Yep.
bringing it back, brother.
Yeah, we heard that shit several times here in Illinois.
Well, Illinois is the fucking worst for that shit. That's why I was like, who was it? I was talking to somebody about all the coast, the states on the coast being fucking swallowed up by the ocean, and I'm like, well, that's cool. But then if Illinois goes and I'm on the coast, or I mean, if California goes and I'm on the coast, and then I mean that would suck if I went next. But yeah, Illinois needs to fucking go somewhere. Like I don't know how the fuck we get rid of Illinois.
Uh, Work out a way to have city states so New York City, Chicago, Houston, and LA can't control their fucking state.
Well, but yeah, and that's the thing though, is that I've seen people leaving, and I understand that some gun guys are stuck there, and some gun guys have left there and moved to other states and been prosperous or whatever. But uh, mostly what I'm seeing out here where I'm at anyway is motherfuckers coming out from California and then just changing the politic. They're pretty much turning where they moved to into California, and that's you want to talk about a step backwards. That makes shit suck.
But that's pure stupidity to leave a place because you don't like it, and then when to change the place where you go to into the place you fucking left because you didn't like it. That's the thing you hear level with Californians who move out all the time.
I'm just saying it.
Where are we going to go now?
Down the rabbit hole. Well, we're past being done. So you want to talk about fucking yeah? You want to talk about the U.S. dollar or
Oh,
Turkey?
yes, that's kind of important bit of news. Uh, I seen, and remember when I seen it, it's just the past couple of days where Turkey has went and joined with the BRICS nation as opposed to supporting the dollar. I guess I don't know.
You broke up all
That's
over
fucking
that.
scary.
Can you explain? You broke up through that. Can you explain to me what the BRICS is again? I mean, you already did, but can you explain it to the people like you were explaining it to me?
BRICS is a group of nations that includes Russia, China, Brazil, Argentina, I think, and now Turkey. Probably Iran too, although I don't remember it. And they're trying to make BRIC, which is their form of currency, I guess, become the world's
Like what? The world police?
dollar right now.
Oh, and see, I was so what you're talking about is them not taking the American dollar anymore, or them making another world currency besides the American dollar, or just not accepting the
Right.
American dollar as world currency.
Now they're trying to get the BRIC to replace the dollar as the world currency
Yeah,
is their end goal.
so they think maybe that there's a maybe that would work. Remember when Gaddafi tried to do that shit, right? Or the Daenerys. Remember how
Well, the
well that
problem
worked
is
out for him?
if they do that, the dollar most likely will collapse.
There's no way that they're gonna do that. They're gonna have military intervention before they let that happen. If not, just assassinate them like they did with fucking Gaddafi. And the same shit happened. You know that's what happened with fucking with Iraq. What's his fucking name, man? Hussein.
Saddam,
Saddam Hussein found in a cave.
I don't know, the original three that I know of was Brazil, China, and Russia. And when they started this, they weren't out loud saying anything about becoming the world's monetary standard. But now it's kind of obvious that that's their game plan. And if they get enough fucking people, we've already got probably the bulk of the world's population. Or no, not quite. But if they get somebody like India to do it, I don't know, it's going to be a fucking scary time.
There was a really funny
Chat's talking about
picture.
how batshit crazy California is.
What? I missed it. California is off its meds. They'll start charging people to eat, sleep, and shit. Yeah, remember the Dinar DJ play
That
nice?
heard there was
Wouldn't it be nice if we were living under the Dinar right now? Nah. They will go to
I don't
war
know how
over the
much it would hurt
fucking.
the
What?
I don't know how much it would hurt the average citizen, at least before the actual collapse. But I don't know. It's a scary fucking thought to think of. Because how do we get by with having 25 trillion in debt that we won't possibly ever be able to pay back,
Well, knowing the
without
you
being the money that's in fucking control of the world?
knowing the U.S. government for the 38 years that I've known the U.S. government, I would imagine that the empire, that the republic is going to fall kicking and screaming and drag as many countries with it as it possibly fucking can. So, whether that's through the media influence, you see how. Listen, Canada's always been known to be nice, the nice guys and the polite guys and stuff like that. But you see how gay Canada's gotten now, right? Like Canada is openly everything, and that's because of America.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, but I mean, listen, they're taking heavy American influence. Mexico's taking heavy American influence, but they're taking it with their whole gangster way and with their cartels and everything. It's all American influence. We're taking everybody with us.
Oh yeah, Mexico's taken American influence by let's fucking kill foreigners. We don't care in their country.
Well, if that's the case, then everybody's taking American influences except America. We're the only one. We're the only ones that are giving them bed and breakfasts and lunches and dinners and checks every fucking month.
Yeah. I guess that buying votes costs money.
Meanwhile, I've been looking at the same homeless motherfucker at the same gas station for about 3 years now,
You
and the
give the guy a tip to move to fucking California. The weather's better.
yeah,
All the free shit's freer.
there's just no government intervention for these people. Later, is
They
that
were all about
is
in
that is that bearded guy? Is that sexy? Is that mad
I
sexy?
think so.
Yeah. All right, later, sexy. I think. Pretty sure.
Later, man. Here they were all about in the cities like Champaign and going to normal and whatnot to be sanctuary cities because they want to be, I don't know, look stupid. But after doing that for about 2 years, maybe three, now they're fucking banning even homelessness. Fuck, get all of you motherfuckers out of here.
Yeah, that. And especially when you see how many places are like abandoned or fucking, there's something wrong with them that's like a fire hazard or something stupid that can be fixed with, a few $1,000 probably, something like that. Not cheap, but not crazy expensive. And then you see how many homeless motherfuckers there are. But then again, look, let's be realistic. A lot of people, maybe not a majority, maybe not. I don't know what the statistics are, but a lot of people that are homeless for a reason, man. Either being lazy or there's a reason why they didn't get up and get a job in the first place, or there's a reason why they didn't get up and try to do something with their life in some kind of way, even if it was illegal. They didn't try to do anything. They didn't try to do nothing. I could almost respect the criminal for getting up and getting out there. Yeah, go get out there, buddy. Bring home some cash.
Well,
So
you know,
that's the one.
he's talking about all kinds of places. You're talking about all kinds of places that need work to be fixed up. Down in St. Louis in 1970s, early 70s, maybe late 60s, they built a pair of high-rise apartment complexes for government housing. Within 10 years, they had to close them down because they were destroyed.
Yeah, people probably treated them like shit. People
Yeah,
suck. People are the
there's no
worst,
fucking
man.
equity in it.
Well,
You
yeah,
have no
that too.
personal equity in something, you ain't gonna give a fuck.
Nah, definitely ain't gonna treat it like it's your own. You're gonna fucking, let the kids piss on the carpet, throw a mattress over it. Fucking, you're gonna, yeah.
And that just goes to show you how fucking bad people are.
Of course, yeah. And not only, and DJ was saying that the government agencies and private sector would fuck that all up, but the people would fuck that up. The people would fuck it up too. And it would literally be a race of who could fuck it up first. Who could either implement more bullshit, more bureaucratic bullshit, or who could put more holes in the walls and put piss stains on the floors, and it would be a race. That's why it's hard for me. That's what I was saying earlier. That's why it's hard for me to stick up for homeless people. Like my heart, I'm always trying to give somebody something to eat, or try, if I see somebody, and especially if I see somebody that I know, like this motherfucker is here every single day. I'll try to help out here and there, but I know my help is only going to last for a minute, but I know that they only need a minute. They're only worth a minute of my help, because if I were to invest money and time into a motherfucker that doesn't want to invest time into themselves, what the fuck am I? I'm wasting my time and money.
Well, you think about it from our perspective here in Central Illinois. What motherfucker would want to be homeless here in the fucking winter?
The same motherfucker that doesn't want to do anything for money.
Right, there's some reason why these fuckers ain't traveling to warmer climates.
Uh, Comfort. This is where I grew up at. I know this. I know I can
I
sleep at this bench. I know ain't no police gonna fuck with me under this bridge. I don't know.
I had a couple of brother-in-laws that did the homeless gig for a while, usually due to their alcoholism. But
Yeah.
you know, the younger of the two told me, he said, "That's not a gig you want to do here." He said, "We was in Florida."
Oh hell nah. I'll
Hell,
tell you.
no shit.
I was homeless for a couple days in Illinois in the winter in Illinois. Actually, for more than a couple days. Um, and I fuck all that. I had to break into my fucking. I broke into my mom's garage and set a little fire in a little one of those little like camping grill things that you did. I just took a bunch of paper and set a fire in there so I could stay warm. But I got up and I changed that immediately. Like I said, it lasted a few days. I changed that shit immediately. There's no way I'm living like this. And like you
Well, I
said,
fully understand that.
especially out there where the wind feels like icy cold fingertips scratching against your face every time, slapping you every time it fucking, oh, fuck that. Fuck that.
My cabin's 300 miles south of me, and it still ain't warm enough to weather homelessness in winter. And it gets down to below zero there at least a few nights a year. Fuck that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be homeless. I want to go somewhere like fucking Florida or maybe down around Brownsville, Texas. Although hurricanes might suck. But I'd
Let
walk
me,
back to Illinois for summer, or at least Missouri. Walk back here.
Gunny was saying I could see that, especially with Illinois. Gunny was saying criminality is soon going to be a viable profession. I could see shit like that. Well, think about it like this too. And I ain't knocking pot. You know, you guys know that I've smoked here and there and shit like that. But just think about it like this: 10 years ago, man, people were going to jail for felonies for selling pot. Maybe more than 10 years at this point. I don't know. I don't remember when it got legal. But anyway, you guys get my drift. In the fucking early 2000s and the 90s, people were catching felonies for selling pot. Some of them are still in
Right. I
jail.
have
You know, if you
never,
didn't know.
I have never agreed with that. I will give Illinois credit when they legalized pot. One of the first things the government did was went through and released anybody who was jailed for
For pot, yeah,
pot
for
possession type crimes.
yeah, but that's the thing though, is that see how they got people was with the trafficking part of it, or breaking another law. Like you got, they they initially arrested you for possession of marijuana, but they found a gun on you. So yeah, you're off with the fucking marijuana charge, but then you get this gun charge. And we're talking about Illinois, obviously, where like
Right.
you have to jump through hoops upon hoops upon hoops to be able to be a fucking firearm or concealed carry firearm owner out there. Maybe it's only like two or three
Did I
hoops,
mention?
but
Did I mention that I tried an edible here even last week?
no.
I think I did it before the show.
How did that go? I wish that we fucking hung out together while you did that.
It tasted like shit and didn't do nothing.
You did one of them little 10 milligram ones that you buy at the store, huh?
Yep.
You had yeah.
Uh, it was 10 milligram.
You're of European descent, Tony. You don't have your THC receptors are fucking high quality. You got to get something that's you got to get some killer shit.
They also had a good break-in period when I was, 15, 16, 17.
Now you 20, 21, 22, 23,
I never said I didn't try it before.
no, yeah.
The last time before that I tried it was December 7th of 1981. And the reason I know that is because it was at my wife's sister's wedding reception, which got married a week after we did.
Damn. Hey, didn't they do the same thing? So DJ says I'm not far from Sioux City, Iowa, and they installed banks and banks of heaters and have zoned off parts of downtown, including their skywalk system. Now I know in Illinois, well in Chicago, that they had warming centers where homeless people could get inside for like an hour or two and warm up. And then obviously soup kitchens. I think that's a nationwide thing. But didn't
Yeah,
they
they did
do
that in Peoria
something?
too, but
No,
they
go
did
ahead.
that in Peoria, but could only be in there for as long as the lobbies, so like the police station, after like 8 p.m. they
Yeah,
were kicked.
that's how these work too, pretty much. Yeah. But didn't they do something like that in
Which
Illinois too, where they made the outside more tolerable?
I don't know.
I know in Arizona. So
I
when I
haven't.
was in Arizona, what they did was they had little stations. It almost looked like a bus station, um, with like those misters on top of it that would shoot out mist and shit like that to cool people off. And then they also had an emergency service, something that worked outside of like the ambulance and the EMTs and the fire station and all that, like their own personal thing. and they had like their own personal minivans that would run around and rescue people and shit like that, and give out like food
And wouldn't
packs and
it just
water
be
packs.
fucking cheaper to buy these cocksuckers a ticket to New Mexico?
That's what I'm thinking. Like, hey, can't we not eat not New Mexico, Mexico? But I mean, that would probably turn into a problem eventually. But I'm saying though, isn't like a peso worth 15 bucks now or something like that? 10 bucks, 15 bucks. I
Oh,
know it
I
was
don't know. I
10
thought
bucks when I was a kid.
the last I heard, I thought it was like 15 pesos ain't worth a quarter.
Oh shit. Okay. That might yeah, 'cause I
But
remember
I
it was
don't
like
know.
I remember one peso was like 10 bucks when I was a kid, or like you know what I mean, the reverse, one or the other.
I know that
10 pesos
when
was
I was
1
in
buck.
Nogales,
10 pesos was 1 buck. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I seen a chick that could fucking make change with her pussy. Now, she wasn't using different coins. They were all pesos, but
Yeah, right. I
it
know what
was
you're
kind of
saying.
impressive.
Gunny says, so you're saying a newbie should start with 10 milligrams asking for a friend. I don't know. I'm of,
I
it really depends on your past tolerance. But for a newbie,
If
I
I were to
guess.
start, I would get fucking pipe and actual smokable weed. I wouldn't do edibles because they taste fucking shit.
And they have a tendency to creep up on you. Like you'll be like, oh, I'm not high. I'm gonna
I
have
never
another
felt
one.
a goddamn thing.
No, I
I
know, but
got
for
one
somebody
from
that has zero tolerance, though, I'm saying,
I'd already had several fucking narcotic pain meds before I did the freaking weed.
yeah, me personally, I get
But
2 of those 100 milligram bags of gummies then when I do it, and I'll eat them when I watch a movie. Like within, you're supposed to take one and let it sit for 45 minutes. I'll take 20 within an hour and a half time period. So it really
is that
depends on
why
your
you were
tolerance.
fucking? Is that why you were extremely unreliable there for a while? You got a great big old bag of gummies and a TV.
Listen, I was smoking a lot of weed at that time. I was smoking a lot of weed at that time. Some would say I was a
I
little
got
bit
no fucking
depressed.
I got no fucking problem with people who smoke weed. I never have.
No, I took it to a whole
I
nother extent. I really should like apologize to everybody type shit, but you know, fuck.
I smoked a bunch of it, but the thing with weed that bugs me is cottonmouth. So if I'm smoking weed, I'm gonna be drinking liquor with it,
Yeah.
and that doesn't always go down well.
DJ says
I
20
never
to
had
1.
any problems from it, but
Yeah. No, I've never had anything where I was like too high. I had to fucking breathe and shit. Like I never had any crazy trips on it or anything like that.
I've never seen a motherfucker get violent while he was high on weed. Not ever.
Hmm.
Most of the time, they're fucking either freaked out because they think the cops are coming, or they're just fucking chill, giggling all the fucking time.
Yeah. DJ was saying 20 to 1 on the pesos, 5 cents on a dollar. The
Is
times
that
we're in
about
make
what
me
I
wanna,
said?
yeah. The times we're in make me wanna change my aversion devices ASAP. You know, listen, this is what I think about vices now at this point in time because I went, so I think I might have started telling you. I know I was talking about it on the Discord. So check this out. So the fire thing happened, right? And I went through a minor midlife crisis. I wanted to go out and like fucking train to fight amateur. I used to like wrestle in high school and fucking I've been in a bunch of fights and blah blah blah. So like you know what, I want to have an amateur fight before I turn 40 years old. And come to find out, all these different classes and everything, all that shit costs money, and you got to continue to pay the money, and you got to continue to upkeep that shit in order to continue to take the classes. So that was an issue. And then I don't know, I was just fucking training my balls off and trying to like shake shit off. And you guys know from the past, I like to drink. Um, I smoke some pot from time to time. I like to smoke cigarettes. I just fucking dropped all that shit. And pretty much just switched addictions from that to training and working out and shit. And look, my point is pretty much, long story short, is that with vices, do whatever you want to do. If you want to work out, work out. If you want to fucking eat, whatever. But don't drive yourself crazy with this shit. If every now and again you want to go and have a fucking sweet treat, go out and do that shit. If every now and again you want to have a smoke, go out and do that shit. If every now and again you want to get high, whatever. You know what I mean? If you never have a fucking feeling to do any of that shit, don't. What it doesn't matter. Like, just don't. The only one thing that I've learned is throughout this little like time period that I've been gone is don't give so much of a fuck. Things are gonna happen whether
Well,
you
come
care
on. We
about
all know that you desperately miss me.
that too. I came out. It was pretty much like dipping my toe in the pool. I was showing a little ankle, hoping that Tony would come and respond to. Oh God, like yeah. But no, but yeah,
Well, even, you think about it, I was annoyed by the situation, but I also had sympathy because, you fucking lost everything.
yeah.
But I wasn't gonna abandon supporting the show, even if you were doing it when I wasn't going to.
No,
Still
yeah,
come in
and
and
that
watch it.
and that was and it
So,
was fair. It was fair. You gave me a warning. You know what I mean? It was fair. I pulled your card. You weren't bluffing. It was fair. All's fair in love and war.
yeah,
We're still brothers.
yeah, even then, still my fucking brother. That won't change.
Yeah.
We're too much in the same fucking brainwave patterns, way more so than my actual blood brothers are. As far as uh, if you have, I can't think what the word is now, vices that you can't control. Think about something that my cardiologist, my second cardiologist, Dr. Gold, told me right after I had seen the nutritionist. I come in, he's asking me about it. I said, basically, the woman told me that I could eat lean meat, and that was it. He said, well, he said, here's the thing. You don't want to deny yourself anything. Otherwise, you'll fail. Like bacon. If you love bacon, don't cut bacon out. Just don't eat a fucking pound of it. Eat a couple slices.
Yeah, that part, yeah. Don't binge on cookies every single day.
Moderation.
Have them once a week or something like that. There's always a
Hey,
what's go ahead.
my old lady was fucking shocked by the dietitian visit because, at the end of it, I said, basically, you're telling me I can eat lean meat. And she said, yes. She says, and green leaves. I'm like, life is going to really suck with that because
Yeah.
fatty meat is what tastes good.
Yeah, like what's the point of having this gift that we all have of life if you don't if you got to torture yourself every single day on a most part like 5 days out of the week? Yeah, it's gonna probably suck. I got to eat some shit that doesn't taste good and blah 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 blah. But then like you said, treat yourself every now and again.
Yeah, that's exactly what the cardiologists are talking about, and there's still issues with me with what I eat, but now it's not the fatty diet is not the horrendous issue that they said it was if you're not either gaining a lot of weight or if you're really overweight.
Right.
Your normal weight range, eating some fat isn't a big problem. Fuck, I weigh 146 pounds at last weight, and I eat pretty much whatever the fuck I want.
Yeah.
And I have to be really mindful of sugar because my blood pressure or my blood sugar will skyrocket. But by the time nighttime rolls around, I can guarantee almost every fucking night for the past, God, 3 months now that I've had this monitor in me, uh, my blood sugar's down in the 40s at night, which I have to wake up because the phone alerts me and drink Pepsi to get the sugar back up. And it'll be like a fucking hopscotch thing at night because the Pepsi will only bring it up for half an hour, 45 minutes. And there at first, man, I was having a hell of a time because I was being kept awake all fucking night long by that goddamn thing. Finally, I started stuffing it under the fucking mattress where I can't hear it. As long as I don't get below 40, I can function fine. And oddly enough, I get up in the morning and my blood sugar goes back up. And the last time I was at the endocrinologist, that's the right term, she said, that's because your body still makes insulin. And that's why you have to watch closely because the sugar crash is because you've taken your insulin and your body's making it right then. So you have a big spike in insulin and then your blood sugar drops. So now I have the Dexcom monitor in my arm that shows my blood sugar all the time. And it kind of eye-opening how this shit works.
Is that one of them things you got? It's like a Band-Aid with a needle in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Band-Aid that's about the size of a quarter and 4 quarters stacked.
Yeah, I seen somebody with one of those that like the phone. They got a little phone app that connects to it, and that app connects with their doctor somehow or some shit like that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, and my doctor has called me a couple of times to experiment with dosage changes because my insulin is pretty erratic. And small changes in dose, like going 15 minutes before each meal, I have to take 5 milligrams of fast acting or 4 milligrams now.
Are you insulin resistant or what's the other one? Sensitive.
I don't think that I'm not insulin resistant, but this insulin has to be taken at a specific time before you eat.
And there's nothing you can do, like if you changed your diet, that you wouldn't have to take the insulin?
No, I have to take insulin because my body, when I cut back on the sugars I eat, my body cuts back on how much insulin it wants to produce.
Oh, I see. Okay.
It's some fucking weird, fucked up thing in my system. And, it's something that I fucking did myself. All those years eating fucking all kinds of sweet shit.
Oh, yeah.
Started when I was a kid. I'd eat that fucking marshmallow fluff out of the jar.
Yeah, oh, yeah. That's what I'm thinking one of my problems is.
It was probably the next best thing to sex on earth. At least in my opinion.
Donuts. Kill a nice
now,
little
if I could slather the old lady with that stuff, wow. But she'd never go for that.
Yeah, we're gonna wrap it up anyway, DJ. He says he's got to roll out and mod another show. Catch up with the rest of us later. Yeah, you have a good one too, man.
You want to just stick with doing this on Monday?
Yeah,
That's
Yeah,
fine. That
I'm with
means
that. Let me see.
I did do a little bit of news stuff. Like I said, I was not as much as I intended to because I had several things that I just remember.
That's all right.
But
We just kept talking around shit anyway, so it's not that big of a deal.
we had a pretty active news week anyway. That you know, there's plenty to talk about in the news stories.
Yeah. And I like this too, like what just happened. Like if something happens over the weekend or like at the, you know what I mean, after Friday, we could still cover it.
Right. Yeah.
So
I
it's
just
working out.
when I thought about the Friday thing, I was thinking, the end of the news week thing, but that doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
Although I'd like to have been a little bit more current on Paul Harrell, but it is
That
what it
yeah.
is.
I I almost was thinking about like an emergency show or a fucking whatever it is, but nah, I didn't do it. Wasn't gonna do it.
I don't really care to do that. I mean,
That's what I'm saying. It
you
wasn't
know,
enough to just make an entire show about.
to get people back to the idea that we're here at this time is first and foremost in my head. Decide the time if this is it, this is it. Um, which actually this works out okay for me because I do that show with Drew, and
Yeah.
then that hour between lets me try to figure out what the fuck is wrong with Discord.
Yeah, I went there too. Shawnee opened up he's got the early watch on there, but it wasn't it was the like a text channel. There wasn't a voice part of it, so I just went onto the early watch one. Fuck it. But they could get on here.
I
He
don't
can
know,
get
this
on
is
here. Night
fine.
Strike can get on here. Well, I think technically anyone can get on here, but him and Night Strike have been on here before, so I think Gavin
I
has
was
a
going to
thing
tell
to
you
come
when did
on
you
here
take that?
too. What?
Going to tell you when did you take that join link off of the?
Oh, off of the thing. You got it saved then?
Yeah, but that's how I get in there.
All right. Well then, yeah, I'll leave it.
I can't get to you from my Discord for some damn reason.
I don't know how it works. And like I checked out Sean's
Probably
one, and he's got it on a text thing instead of the video one, so I couldn't even use it.
I probably could save this the link itself, so that would work fine too. For
Eh,
some reason, that invite says it's invalid.
the one that's on the description?
Yeah,
I thought that's how you got in here.
it is. But
Then it's
it,
valid.
when I first opened Discord this morning, it was fine. It worked like it did last week. And
Right.
it said it was invalid. But when I popped open the Discord, which it did, it said that you left a voice channel last time you was here and gave
Uh,
me a link to get into this. But I can also
oh.
get into these because I'm on the early watch Discord. You know, that hard because what I had to do eventually here was to change computers. Usually I tried to run this on both the YouTube and this on my single laptop, but it's not wanting to fucking do that now. So I have to fire up my other laptop and my other phone. So I have two fucking internet connections here so that I've got enough bandwidth to do the goddamn thing. And I really don't get the issue with this fucking microphone situation.
Yeah. I don't know. Because people were saying my shit was
Yes,
quiet the last time too, so I don't know.
I have a fucking Shure microphone that plugs into an adapter to the microphone input on the goddamn laptop. I mean, there's no going through USB or none of that shit.
Yeah. I don't know.
It might be the fact that the Vox needs to be more sensitive, because when you don't use push to talk, it's voice activated. That might be a problem. It's
Jenny
hard because when
says,
I try to check it this morning,
yeah.
I would say something and then its test would come back to me about 10 seconds fucking later.
Gunny says,
I'm like,
should we
what the
use
fuck?
Discord instead of YouTube? Nah, I mean, unless you're gonna jump on there to talk or something like that, I guess. But
Yeah,
eh,
you can jump on the Discord to join if you want to, man. But YouTube is where the people are at.
yeah,
That's my whole thing with YouTube. I've been saying that since we had discussed different options for where to put the show back in the old days. YouTube is where the people are at. You
yeah,
know, with Rumble, I thought that was a pretty good idea, but don't have, God damn, 1 or 2% of the people at YouTube have. At that. And I really can't do this on Rumble
yeah. I don't even know what
because
the fuck any of that
now I might
is.
be able to do it with I might be able to do it with the two phones because that's two separate connections. And like today, I'm on high speed data on both phones, so it's not a real issue. But that only lasts me about 10 days on the one phone and 20 days on the other. So there's still going to be a week or two where I don't have high speed data and still have to try to do this. Which last show I was on low speed data, so I can still do it. I don't know. I'm trying to get with fucking Verizon and say, hey, put all 75 gigs I pay for high speed unlimited data on one damn phone. Now we can't do that. Why the fuck not? Oh yeah, I had a outage of internet, and I contacted Verizon because it was a tower issue.
Mm.
I had fucking one little bar and full internet access. I mean, it wouldn't even try. Contact them to just tell them, hey, something's fucked up here. And they said, well, it looks to us like your SIM cards are outdated. Okay, whatever. I've had the cards for the last fucking 5 phones I've had. So yeah, probably are a little outdated. They sent me new SIM cards for all 3 phones, my two and the old lady's. SIM card in my Galaxy, which is the one that I bought to do this Dexcom, and it wouldn't let me connect to the internet via hotspot. I mean, it wouldn't let me use the phone as a hotspot. And I'm like, well, fuck that. Took that some time, put the old one back in. Fuck it. I don't know what has changed in it. There is something. And I've had enough experience with Verizon that I don't trust any cocksuckers for nothing.
Well, yeah, it's all the same shit.
Although I will admit the last time I changed plans, it worked out better than they told me it would. Because they told me it would cost me $5 a month more, meaning it would end up to $175 a month instead of $170 that I was paying for 3 phones. And that I would get 25 gig of data high speed on each phone instead of 10. It's me 160 now. It's $10 fucking less.
Yeah.
Every fucking thing else has went way out. Fucking home insurance, homeowners insurance went up $106 a month, I think. Car insurance went up $10 a month. Light bill's been absurd for fucking since COVID.
It's
You know,
Bidenomics.
groceries. I can't afford to eat steak for every goddamn meal anymore, which is a drag.
Yeah.
And I went
Yeah.
on that carnivore thing for a while. I was eating a hamburger, ribeye steaks, and New York strip, and then beef roast.
Yeah, we were doing something similar to
And
that too. I threw some chicken
me
in
and
the
the old lady
mix.
both liked it.
Yeah, my wife liked it too. She just
Well,
got tired of the beef thing after a while. She ended up going
we
back
would
to
do
like doing the.
chicken too,
Yeah,
but
I
we
had
were
to do the
doing
chicken.
just meat.
Yeah.
You know, my idea was to see how it worked with the carbs on my sugar, which it did pretty well. But then after doing it for like 6 weeks, fucking steak went from uh, like 10.99 a pound to 14.99 a pound.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
you
we
know,
started getting those little chuck roasts to kind of compensate because it was a little bit cheaper by the pound. You know, like they like I want to say if you catch them on sale, it was around $24 for 3 pounds of it. And it was steak. I mean, you cook it like it's a regular. You know, you slice it up and then cook it like it's a regular steak. It's a steak, but
too, we prefer Angus.
yeah,
You
okay,
go
I
to
can see.
Walmart and they offer Angus, that's, and we both like them better. And you could tell a difference, honestly. I was surprised. And we initially started with the Angus because they had sale on it. It
So do
was
you like your
cheaper, but
steak more? You like your steak more well done?
fuck yes. I cook
Yeah.
steaks in the oven.
Oh yeah. That then the Angus
I put
makes all the sense in the world.
I put them in the oven and then lay them on a cooking sheet with foil. And then I fold the foil up right to the sides of the steak. So it basically boils in its own juice.
And then do you
And
sear it
you
afterwards?
don't fuck, nope, you
No.
don't need a fucking knife. It'll kind of brown on the top and bottom, 350-degree heat of the oven, and the bottom of the steak sitting on the pan aluminum foil being hot. But it won't be like you fried it.
You throw a little
But
sear on that motherfucker,
cut that
man. You'll
shit
be
with
in
a
a whole
fork.
nother world.
Lady can eat it without dentures.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Angus is good for well done because it still stays tender.
Yeah, I've had disputes with people about steaks being cooked well done. I'm like, you can cook a steak without it being juicy and tender, well done. You need to take some lessons.
Well, that's
My
yeah.
mom taught me to cook steak when I was 8.
It's about the cut of the meat too. What cut are you
Well, yeah,
making
but
into steak?
we're talking ribeye.
Yeah.
Ribeye and New York strip both work about the same way. New York strip can get a little bit tougher ish. Not really tough, but there are spots that can be a bit chewy.
Medium is
Ribeye,
about where you
none
want to cut
ever.
cut off a fucking New York strip at is about medium. You don't want to go too close to well done.
Uh, on all of them all around.
That's what I mean.
But I can't cut a roast and get it to work. I don't know what I'm doing wrong.
Are you cutting them thin? Are you making big, fat, huge pieces?
No,
Well, then I don't know. I just
I,
cut it
I
thin.
have done I have done inch thick steaks in the oven, and they still turn out perfectly fine,
No, yeah, but it's something the
except
stability of the
for
roast. I don't know if it's just the fucking like I was saying before. I don't know if it's the cut or I don't know if it's the fucking type of meat. I don't know, but something with the roast.
I think a part of it is I don't cut it with the grain the way it should be roasted.
Yeah, I guess that's possible. But that's what I do most of the
But
time. It's like
still,
my knockoff ribeye is the roast.
I actually last time I did a roast, I cut it into like inch cubes. It was like 2 pound roast. I cut it into inch fucking cubes and throw it in the crock pot.
That's good too.
Oh fuck yes it was.
Yeah, that's good too. I still can't get straight damn answer to all the service reps why my stuff went up. It's Bidenomics, Gunny. Just ask
No
Kamala.
shit.
It's Bidenomics, baby.
Not You know, when I was had kids at home when they were little, we would buy a steak instead of roast to cook hot pot because you can take a half-ounce steak or a half-pound steak. I mean, cook carrots and potatoes and whatnot in the crock pot and get as good or better flavor than you could doing like a 3-pound fucking roast. So I'm really a fan of steak. Right now, it's tough to afford real good groceries that are pretty shortly. I'll buy, I'll buy 4 or 6, but
Yeah, at least a couple
that's
days, a couple
what
few
we're
days
going to be
worth.
able to have in a month.
Yeah, I steak is definitely up there as my favorite. After I had that tomahawk, man, it was over with. With tomahawk is just like a glorified ribeye, but goddamn if it isn't the fucking best steak that I've ever had in my life. It took a while to cook it too, and like everything about it would theoretically suck, but it was just the taste made up for it. Something everybody has to
Don't those
experience.
things cost like $60 or so?
$60 for, yeah, for about 3.5 pounds, but that's including a 1 pound bone. Not even, maybe a quarter-pound bone. But
I'll tell you
yeah.
something. Look the other day that shocked me how good it was.
You did what?
Oh, Walmart, they had the freezer kind of sections out in the middle of the aisles, between the food aisles. Uh, they have, I don't remember the brand, but it's cubed pieces of ham that are into about quarter-inch cubes.
Mm-hmm.
That was actually really fucking good ham. Salty as shit, but salt's good for you.
Yeah.
Shit, 2 hours and 10 minutes. What the fuck are we doing? We're gonna get out of here in an hour.
Yeah, it's too much. How much is holy shit? Yeah, yeah, you ain't lying. All right, everybody. Have a good day.
Have a good one.
We'll see you next week. Here's the. I think this is the outro. The last time I.